Hi, so recently I've been working on quote generation and these sequence to sequence models with neural networks in general. And the main purpose was just to get some interesting flavor to the game and to have certain personalities in the game generate quotes for you as if they're talking to you. And I've stumbled upon some interesting quotes as I've been exploring the outputs of the network. So, first, let me show you how I've integrated it into the game so far. And then I'm going to show you some of the more interesting quotes based on some of these search algorithms from the network outputs that I've found. So, one instance where I've utilized the quotes is, going to the embassy of other civilizations. So here I'm pulling up the embassy page. And this leader greets us irritatedly with, "This is a thin line between justice with the universe. Sometimes they don't always make sense." So we can threaten them. And her skirtle girls moved into my mom and dreamed of... Yeah, so it's not always logical, but you can also find another instance where I've integrated the quotes as just a page of intel for each civilization. So for instance, if we go to this civ and look at its page, you can see each of them have a national motto. So love is my religion, and so this is an aggressive yet scientific culture. And we can look at another one. God is my shelter. This is a reserved and religious culture, so maybe that's a little more spot on. The network is trained in a way that it's supposed to kind of match the personality in a bit, but as you can see, it's not quite perfect. So anyway, how does this work? So the network is generating the quotes letter by letter. So at each time step, the network indicates a probability for each letter that it wants to choose that letter for the next letter in the sequence of the quote. So for instance, there's many ways to sample from this, and you could, respect the probabilities in such a way that if the network gave like 0.9 output for the letter A, and the remaining letters, it split up the remaining 10%. You could sample from a distribution such that 90% of the time you would choose A for the network as its output, and then, keep it running for the next letters. So if you do this a number of times, you can sort the quotes. Like if you do this 100 or so times, you can sort them and be, to try to find the ones that are the most probable outputs, like the sum of the probabilities across all the letters. That's what I've done here. And here are the highest ones. So this one is failure is the hardest. We are the best from God's law. Death is the greatest exercise. You can't fake where is perfect. Never understand ye entirely. Culture, life is the laws of stress. Anyway, as I'm reading them, you can see the numbers. The sum of basically a proxy for the probability across the letters is shown here. So I'm kind of going down as they become less probable, or the network believes that they're less good. There's other search algorithms you can do. So another one I recently implemented is called beam search, which basically gives you a buffer of in sequences that you can be running and testing. And so if you think about this, at each time step, you have in sequences that you've tested. And then you have probabilities for each sequence. So that is like the probability of A occurring for sequence 1, and so on. So it's a n by the dictionary size matrix that you have at each time step. So the beam search algorithm basically, you sort the entire matrix, just ravel it together and sort it, and then take the n highest for the next step, and go forward. So it's a way of searching to get higher probability outputs. So anyway, I did that, and here's the insights and whatever the network gives us. So never underestimate the universe, and variations of it. So with an exclamation mark, question mark, never underestimate yourself, but mostly never underestimate the universe. Anyway, I'll just leave that for you to think about. Anyway, until next time, thank you.